Good afternoon, everyone. This is Jared Rand, and welcome to the Global Guided Meditation Call for Tuesday, March 29th, 2022, a little after 3 p.m. Eastern. We'll be having a Time for Change call tomorrow night, Wednesday, the 30th, at 9 p.m. Oftentimes we talk about timing is everything. I think a lot of us have said that at one time or another. Perfect timing is everything. The tomato falls from the vine when it's ripe, and the butterfly emerges from the cocoon when its wings are strong enough to fly. When you are truly ripe and willing to trust in the divine timing of life, you will start to relax and enjoy everything. Trust. Key, trust, that everything is unfolding as quickly and perfectly as it can. The rose flower wouldn't be so perfect if it was rushed to blossom any faster. Realize that this divine timing is behind everything. It's guiding every atom in the universe and every newborn baby into existence. Now, the ego. Let go of your ego's time agenda and watch your entire being blossom wide. It's good to know this truth for when you say yes to this perfection of this moment. The entire universe celebrates you. Everything is carefully orchestrated for your awakening. All there is perfect timing. And when the ego mind's involved, it's not so perfect because we get impatient. We believe it through the ego mind. We believe that, why isn't this happening like it should? How come this is taking so long? This is ridiculous. Why is it taking so long? And so the ego mind starts to get you to push and hurry and try to rush or hurry up something, and it doesn't work. I don't think it's ever worked when we try to do that. We are what we think. All that we are arises with our thoughts. With our thoughts, we make our world. Buddha. What is real? Reality is merely an illusion, albeit a very persistent one. What is real? In the world of manifesting, it is necessary to know what is real and what is not. When your attention is settled upon that which is real, it expands your manifestation vibration to the next level. If your mind becomes fixated on anything else, it simply procrastinates your growth and spiritual awakening. Finding what is real is how we discover our path in this life and access the true you. What is real is closer to us than anything we can touch, taste, see, or smell. It is real because it is unchangeable and permanent. Your body, ego, mind, and everything else will change with time. Give it 100 years or 10,000 years. It will be different than it is right now, guaranteed. Now, when we look towards that which never changes, we are finding that which is real. When you look towards that which never changes, you are finding that which is real. That which is real is permanent. 100% indestructible and found at the center of our being. In this universe, we have discovered that there are only two things that are real. The eternal expression of this now moment. The eternal expression of this now moment, pure consciousness, which is witnessing and participating in each present moment experience. These two are, of course, one and the same and cannot exist without each other. If you think about anything else in this universe, it can be destroyed, lost, misplaced, shredded, burned into ashes, decayed, moved, or changed in some way or form, which makes it less real. Whether we are talking about the thoughts rising and falling in our mind at this very moment, or emotions and sensations in our bodies, they will always change like the wind. Their purpose is to be impermanent and actually give us the ability to discover what is permanent. I have learned from experience that the greater part of our happiness or misery depends on our dispositions and not on our circumstances. Mark Washington. If you're wondering how to have a glimpse of this real world, you may be surprised to hear it is something that everybody has tasted at some time in their life. Some common moments of having real experiences happen when we are making love with someone, staring at the clouds in the sky, or are just deeply relaxed and at peace with our lives. How do we know we are experiencing that which is real? Experiencing what is real heightens our senses, quiets our minds, and opens our being. Continuously realizing what is real right now strengthens our manifesting vibration. Over-attachment to the illusions in your mind causes you or your vibration to sink and get stuck. Your vibration is always determined by where you place your focus. There will always be better and new improved things to want, or more tantalizing thoughts portrayed in your mind. By keeping your mind focused on what is real, a more enlightened, well-trained mind will result, and your manifesting vibration will skyrocket. A magical body-mind is always centered on what is real. It is aware when it gets caught in illusions of future and past, therefore it doesn't get caught in them. It is constantly present, always awake, seeing what is. It knows that which is truly eternal, infinite, and permanently magnificent is on the inside. You will become the center of the cyclone and will find inner peace in any situation that arises. Self-realization is real religion. All the rest is only preparation. Swami Vivekananda. The ultimate realization comes from accepting that you are a spiritual being living in an unreal world. This means that each experience you have is viewed as a unique spiritual experience. Those ordinary, everyday life situations are transformed into deep spiritual lessons that inspire and empower you everywhere you go. There are experiences of oneness and inner peace. This spiritual aspect to you is that invisible energy that allows for form and shape to exist as your life. It is that energy and consciousness which connects us to each atom and subatomic particle wave. When we completely stop everything and really look inside, we see we are beyond the world of atoms and three-dimensional life. We are beyond form, revealing that spiritual you who is the real you. Our spiritual body is this pure consciousness which is real and beyond the physical world. The mind cannot comprehend this. Just like it can't cannot grasp infinity or timelessness. Yet we will make a bold attempt to explain our infinite nature anyway. This universe that we all live in is contained within an infinite field of time and space. If you look up in the night sky, you may notice that there is a whole lot of nothingness out there. There is an infinite amount of space, which has no end. Every star or point you can see in this infinite space contains the absolute center of this infinite field. You are also one of these points in the universe, scientifically speaking. Since an infinite universe exists everywhere, wherever we go, we are the center of it all. When we spatially realize that we are the center of an infinite field of space, we actually get off our ego trips. We start to see that everything has a message intended just for us. Now, your mind will judge this as egotistical, self-centered, or conceited. Yet it is just the opposite, since everyone is also the center of their universe as well. Self-centeredness is soul-centeredness. It is an amazing, enlightening perspective to have. It is what assists us realizing that our spiritual selves are infinite and eternal and can direct our manifesting powers at will. When you have transcended your mind, you will notice many aspects to your true infinite nature. You will realize that there is a death and rebirth of each new moment, as well as each physical body. This process happens on both microcosmic and macrocosmic levels. Millions of cells in your body are dying, and new ones are being created each moment. The divine universe needs to destroy the old to make room for the new. The same process happens within our egos. While an old part of us is always dying, a new facet is being born to discover the real you. Notice who is observing both of these processes, and you will find complete freedom from everything. When we let go of our usual thinking about who we are and adventure out to explore what is truly real, we discover the bigger truth and access a powerful spiritual part of ourselves. We feel lighter and things flow easier in our lives. So we invite you to stop and notice if you have redefined who you are right now. What do you think would occur in your life if you tapped into your infinite nature? When you live from this space of pure freedom, those things you always wanted to manifest simply show up. For peace of mind, we must resign as the general manager of the universe, Debbie Ford. We are about to uncover a treasure chest of information that will take our manifesting vibration to the next level. We just kind of call this the toolbox. It will support us in deeply integrating the manifesting power when it begins to surge into our lives. Concepts that we are about to learn are essential in manifesting a joy-filled life that we love. The wise Buddha once said, attachment leads to suffering. That is by far the most valuable gold mine to keep our manifesting vibration growing, increasing our manifesting vibration over many years requires mastery of this law. What the Buddha meant is attachment is based on fear of your goal not manifesting. And by being detached from your goal, you allow and trust the universe to create it through you. Attachment is always based on fear. The fear that you don't have the power to manifest your desire, therefore it will not show up in your life. The instant you are attached to something, your body creates tension around the thought of having to have it, causing your happiness to be determined by an external event. Depending on the outer world for your joy is a sure way to block your energy and positive vibration. Remember that. The thought of having to have it, causing your happiness to be determined by an external event, depending on the outer world for your joy, is a sure way to block your energy and positive vibrational flow. A mind that becomes attached to a certain thought for pleasure or security is an enslaved mind that has forgotten its connection to the divine infinite source inside. The mind has been misguided to believe that the feeling of success comes from attaining a certain outcome. Watch out for this social symptom, societal symptom. It is the reason why our minds may fall into the trap of attachment. The law of detachment means that in order to acquire anything in the physical universe, you have to relinquish your attachment to it. This doesn't mean you give up your intention to create your desire. You don't give up the intention, and you don't give up the desire. You give up your attachment to the result. Deepak Chopra. How do we become attached? Our ego is always searching. It is searching for security, success, power, fame, and anything that will give it instant gratification. The ego believes these items will provide fulfillment, and though hard work and exhausting efforts, it will someday arrive, right? Through hard work and exhausting efforts, it will someday arrive. What the ego forgets is that it is already directly connected to a source of infinite power and energy. This is the only place it can find true everlasting security. Yet the ego is the cling master, the ultimate skeptic, who is always afraid it will be duped. The ego thinks that the universal power is not real, permanent, and trustworthy, which is why it clings to life out of fear. It feels it cannot trust the universe. It can't trust the universe will provide all its needs. So it continues working harder and harder until it can retire and die. Releasing all attachment in our lives opens our minds to see what is truly available. We become free from the ego and trust everything is perfect as it is. Attachment will always keep us blind to this perfection here now. It forces us to become caught up in our thoughts instead of living totally in this divine moment. If you get overly attached to the idea of having the perfect job or mate, you may miss talking with the amazing person sitting right next to you, or fail to hear that new job you always wanted is being discussed with the person right behind you at the store. When your eyes and ears remain open to the universe, you are non-attached to the thoughts passing through your mind. Life is either a daring adventure or nothing. Helen Keller. The energy of attachment is very subtle and often hard to see. If there are any subtle mental or emotional attachments to any projected future outcome, they will act like a few sticks and brush caught in the manifesting river flow. Over time, other sticks, logs, and debris will congest the area and form a dam, essentially blocking your entire manifesting vibration from flowing through. Anytime your mind gets attached to or avoids a thought, feeling, or person, it begins to take you down the road towards the suffering experience. If attachment is so subtle, how do you recognize when you have an attachment? Attachment is present every time you feel tense, stressed, out of sorts, or grumpy. When you feel like you are swimming against the current or trying to force something to happen, you are probably caught up in an attachment. Wherever or whenever you recognize these two vibrational feelings, just ask yourself this question: what outcome am I attached to? Many little attachments are running your life. The more you become aware of these attachments, the freer you will be to consciously manifest your desires. Challenges are what make life interesting. Overcoming them is what makes life meaningful. Joshua J. Marine. Now you may be wondering by now how you can be committed to manifesting a goal and not attached to it at the same time. This is a great question. Here's the golden secret. Commitment is the key to keeping your energy focused in a specific direction. Without it, we tend to wander in life and we become too scattered to manifest our desires. Having too many commitments, we become overwhelmed, or our integrity drops and we are unable to follow through with everything we say we will do. This, of course, is the sign of someone who is struggling with their manifesting vibration. The right amount of commitment feels as if you are excited about following through on your intention without feeling emotionally stuck in attaining the end result. This is where detachment begins to work its magic. The difference between being attached to an outcome and visualizing it happening to you is defined by how immersed in the now you truly are. Your head will always try to get in your way and control the situation until your mirror is dust-free. For example, if we are diligently trying to manifest a new convertible car after doing 4 straight weeks of manifesting techniques and are energetically attached to the expectation of how we think it should come to us, it may be 4 years by the time we actually own it. However, if we are simply visualizing driving our new green Mustang convertible, roaring down the road with the wind in our hair, listening to our favorite song and pleasantly enjoying the hum and feel of it, then we are attracting the vibration of the physical car into our hands. If we are in any way hoping, wishing, or desperate for our dream car to be in our garage one day, or dream anything, then we are not really feeling the joy of driving it and are actually feeling stuck to a dry, idealistic mental outcome. Once we switch to relaxing into the feeling and visualization as if the car were delivered yesterday, we feel relieved, and no part feels desperate anymore. And remember, by dream dialoguing and visualizing what you really want, you can stay with it for hours, days, weeks on end until it just shows up. Whatever you're focusing on is where energy flows. Eventually, the vibration will be built up enough to hit its threshold point and instantly manifest it through your life. Know that in time, you will manifest the things and experiences you want, and the actual result will most likely not arrive exactly the way you imagined it. Thank the universe, otherwise life would be predictable and boring. Too much certainty leads to a very dull existence. The universe wants us to have fun and has generously agreed to support us in having a much richer experience by giving us both certainty and uncertainty, which together produce an exciting yet peacefully balanced life. So what are so attached to having? What are you so attached to having, being, or doing? What is that one thought that causes you great distraction from remaining excited about your manifesting agenda? Behind every distraction is a saboteur, and lurking beneath the saboteur is an attachment. So I recommend you take 5 minutes sometime today, write down everything you think you are attached to in your life. This is a great exercise. Can actually be a lot of fun to do. So if you will, go to the place where you're not going to be interrupted, and I'm sure we all are. And the first thing that we care to do is relax our bodies. Head to toe, inside and out. These bodies that we're in are like a magnetic sponge. As soon as we enter them in the baby body, they start absorbing all other people's conversations, noises, occurrences, all through our lives. It's like a magnetic sponge drawing things in. We have numerous occurrences. And interesting thing is, they're not ours. We have 60,000 thoughts plus a day. We have tens of millions of thoughts programmed running by, flying by like clouds in the sky. And we're all hustle-bustling. This way, that way, this way, that way, up here, down here. So you can see why the body, and then you add the ego mind to it, why the body gets so distressed, anxiety-filled, worry, concern, anxiousness. So it should be cognizant of the fact that through our breath, breathing easy in through the nose and easy out through the mouth, slowly and surely, the body relaxes. Because when we go and focus on our breath and we listen to the breath, we still the mind, the ego, and the subconscious mind. They're not there. They're gone. And all the mind chatter's gone. And I guarantee this, all your worry, stress, fear, anxiety is gone. In the moment, in the now, all that fades away. Body begins to relax. It's no longer under a pressure. So things begin to release. Now see, the ego mind keeps asking you, no, don't get out of there. Come back into the future or the past. You know, don't stay there in the now. It's boring there. You don't need to be there. And see, this is why a lot of us get pulled out of it. And it's really important, very important for us to realize that we're gentle, kind, generous, and humble with ourselves at all times. That we're in the highest of the highest high, the deepest of the deepest deepest, and the purest of the purest purest, eternal gratitude at all times. Because all of us have the opportunity all the time to what? To be in the center of the storm, where it's totally calm, totally peaceful, unobstructed. Now, ego mind wants you to jump into the storm that you see whirling and raging all around you. Never ends. And this is where we get trapped into that. And what happens? We're in the storm. And we've been in the storm several times. And a lot of the times, we've never known it. We've never known that we were in the storm because it's so natural for us. being in the center, focusing on the breath. Easy in, easy out. How do you think we can tap into our manifesting power? That's how. That's how we can do it. But being distracted, that's a biggie because of the ego mind. In the now. Practicing being in the now, in the moment. Every chance you get, do it. Because we know we are not the body. We are not the personality. We're not the character. We're not the name. We're not our belongings. We are not our status. We are the God source, the heaven, the kingdom of God, the spirit, the soul. Now, obviously, we float off. With all that activity swirling around, it's almost automatic. We just float off into different thoughts. And those thoughts aren't even ours, but we get tricked into believing they are. And so as we float off, it's real simple to say, okay, I'll focus on my breath, and I will be in the now 3,000% of the time, which is always. And that's just practice, practice, practice. You may find yourself doing it several times a day. Because everything happens in the now. The only thing we have is the now. No matter how much that ego mind tries to convince you otherwise, all we have is the now. Now you can picture looking in that body, and since you know you're not the body, and you look in and you see these 7 lights, balls of light, deep color, vibrant color, way beyond colors on this planet. And they go from the spine, the tailbone, to the top of the head. And, you ask yourself, well, what the heck are these? On this planet, they're called chakras, and the definition of chakra is wheels of light. They're spirit etheric energy. You're spirit etheric energy, the God that you are in the body, which is omnipotently powerful. So doesn't it make sense that you flow through these? They're connected to the body's emotions, personality, everything. All the way down to the quantum quark. So in reality, the irony to this is that we all are masters of these physical forms. And most of us don't even know it. So we seek external authority to tell us how to take care of these bodies that we're in. And we will learn eventually on the inward journey that we will be able to heal these bodies in a blink of the eye. Picture 3 paths, right, that you're standing before, in front of them. You happen to be in the center one, which is the now. One on the left is the past. One on the right is the future. And you look at them out of curiosity to see how they've been constructed. And each one, you can see where the trees have grown over to form a canopy, like a ceiling, a roof. And they're gold, shimmering, leaves, the bark, the branches, everything. And you notice that the path itself is a very vibrant, brilliant, emerald green, flaming grass. Appears to be grass. And the one that you're standing in front of, as you compare them, right, you notice that The one you're standing in front of, the now, is absolutely pristine. It looks like it's barely been used. The one on the left, the past, really used. One on the right, the future, same, really used. Why is that? It's because our ego mind knows that if it goes into the now, it won't exist. So it will do everything it can to keep you out of the now. Now, we all reminisce and we all have thoughts. You know, we kind of go over things that we've experienced in our lives, and mostly the ones that we really enjoyed. Sometimes we'll touch on the really ugly ones that we've experienced. And so we'll reminisce. And we have a private library, which is our subconscious mind, which basically copies everything that the ego mind does. And it copies everything outside of it, even past lives, future lives, and plays them over and over again. It's this huge library. Each of us have one. So you go up and you open the door, turn on the lights, go to some of the shelves, and you get some movies and pictures and books, and you sit in the easy chair and you watch some movies and you look at the pictures and you read a little bit of the books. But most of us will put it all away, turn off the light, shut the door, and move forward in life, and maybe on occasion revisit. But see, there are some that will go there and stay there so long, and I don't believe that it is conscious, I believe it's unconscious, and they'll end up bringing that future, that past, into a future that doesn't exist, creating that future out of that past, and reliving that past in that future. That's why people will say no matter what we do, we always end up here. Now, all of us, at one time or another, want to know things ahead of time, right? We want to know if things are going to happen. We want to know when things are going to happen in our lives. And this is constantly gnawing at some of us. It always just sits there, it gnaws away, picks away. That's the ego mind. You know, there's going to be something better out there. It's the ego mind, right? Saying that. We've got to find it. So we want to know things in advance. We want to know, when is this going to happen? When am I going to have enough wealth to enjoy my life? When am I going to have enough health, good health, to enjoy my life? When am I going to meet my lifelong romantic partner? When am I going to get a better job? And it goes on and on and on. And when we don't have an answer, because of course the answers are within us, we seek external authority. We want people to tell us what's going to happen with us, for us, in the near future. And the majority of the time, it never happens. And then because then we get attached when we're told, and then we have expectations, and then it doesn't happen. And then we're disappointed, irritated, and upset. See, being attached to something, with any of us, means that we're afraid of losing it. Isn't that amazing? We get attached to it, and I want this to happen, I want this to happen. And then you have that uneasy feeling, right? Where it says, but you don't address it, and it just says, well, you might not get it. I can't have that happen. So this is where you set the energy forward, and the universe starts moving it into form, but you don't have expectations or attachments to it, which means you know it's already here, and the universe is forming it for you, and it'll be in front of you very shortly, and that's it. And you leave it alone. And that's tough for any of us, to just say, let's leave it alone. But then the ego mind comes in and says, no, I want it now. I need it now. I got to have this now. And, of course, the universe shuts down the flow of abundance, and it never comes. So always being consciously aware as much as possible. Now, we know that when we enter these bodies, we know we're not the body, right? And we know we're the God. And we know we're the heaven. Heaven is not a place. Heaven is you. By causing people to believe that heaven is a place, it causes separation. And it makes them believe outside of themselves that heaven is a place. So, each of us, the gods that we are in these bodies, are heaven on earth. Heaven, the God that we are, earth, the body. So we're heaven on earth, and we also know that every step we take, we're creating paradise, literally, on this planet. Because obviously, we're literally transforming it into a God-planet paradise. And all the goop is leaving and being vaporized. Now, consciously aware means that we know that we are of and from the highest of the highest high, the deepest of the deepest deepest, and the purest of the purest purest, eternal love. And some of us, begin to understand that we are the light. The light comes from the love that we're made from. And the frequency is so high, none can compare to it. So we shine our light. And when we're consciously aware of it, we just say, okay, I'm going to direct my light over that group of people that look really saddened. Their energy seems low. So I'm going to blast them with the love that I am. And that's your intention, and that's what you do. And you direct your love, and you just totally saturate, permeate all of them as you walk by. No one knows you're doing this, but the gods in their bodies do. And you'll see a big difference. You will. And when some of us decide to leave these bodies, and we enter the sacredness of space, we will know we're the light. There won't be any confusion or not knowing who and what we are. Some of us will discover this. So when a light shows up and it draws you to go into it, you'll know that it's a matrix trap. You won't go into it because you are the light. Now you take a starship off this planet, right? And you say far enough out to the planet's about the size of a basketball, and you see that it glows. And so you also notice all the lights in the universe pale in comparison. It's like a lit candle in a dark room. Dim, dim, dim. So a God planet paradise that glows. Now, we know that we have parts of ourselves, the gods that we are, that are asleep. They'll awake in their own time. The other parts of us are awake, consciously aware to a certain extent. This is where we interact a lot. You could be right now and not know it, interacting with a part of yourself 1,000 billion light years away. Isn't that amazing? It really doesn't matter what physical form we have, that we get into, inhabit, whatever. The gods within we're all one. It's just different aspects that we experience. Now, this is all light energy beings and all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever. This is the archangels, the cherubim, the seraphim, the archetype. This is the ascended masters, Kuan Yin, Maitreya, Buddha, Lakshmi, Ganesh, Gaia, Saint Germain, Christ, El Moria, Abundantia, Pel, Thoth, Yahweh, Yeshua. All the inhabitants of inner earth, hollow earth, Agartha, and beneath earth, all of our loved ones who have ascended out of body in this lifetime and all lifetimes that we've inhabited. All of the off-worlders, galactics, celestials, the archangels, cherubim, seraphim, the archetypes, and the light energy beings. Now, because of the eyes we have with these bodies, we only see 1% of what is. But there's light spectrums with light energy beings. It's red, infrared, violet, ultraviolet, blue, green, and they come in shapes, colors, sizes, forms, and configurations of which we aren't aware of. But there is a group. And this group, the bodies that we're in, are very dependent on a part of this group. Right? The fairies, the sprites, the elves, the gnomes, the dwarves, the trees, the trolls, the magics, the elementals, earth, air, water, fire, ether, wood, the mermaid, the dolphin, the whale, the pegasus, the unicorn, centaur, the minotaur. Now, you can ask your body, can you survive without air? Can I stay in you when you don't have air? What about water? What about fire? What about earth? What about wood? What about ether? And the answer is no. These bodies we're in are tremendously dependent on the elementals. Now, the archangels, the cherubim, the seraphim, the archetypes, their civilization that vibrated at a different frequency than we do. This is why we don't see them like we see each other. But the God in their body and the God in these bodies that we are one. Now, they deliver messages all the time to all of us, have been for tens of thousands of years. And the major one is, isn't it absolutely magna glorious, spectacular, stupendous to be alive in these bodies? Now, a lot of times we don't get it. We don't pick it up. We're too distracted. And so it passes by. Now, we do meet them, but it's just random. I mean, someone might help you out of the clear blue. You start up a conversation with a complete stranger, or they do you in a store, or you're out and about or somewhere, And a lot of the times, some of us will, after that interaction, it dawns on us that was an angel. And you feel blissful. Now, they can surround any one of us at any one time in the tens of millions, tens of thousands. Because their vibrational frequency, they can hold a large number in a small area. And if you ask them, they'll be there in a blink of the eye and you'll be in bliss. And they try to get us with that message to remind us how wonderful it is to have these bodies to experience physical life. Because I will tell you that when you do leave that body, and it's fleeting because it disappears quickly of what it felt like to be in the body, because we don't taste, we don't touch, we don't make love, we don't hold hands, we don't kiss. We don't do any of that. We don't eat a nice meal, savor the flavor. We don't laugh, we don't cry. We don't take a nice spring air walk. We don't take in an old splendor. We don't see like we see through these eyes. And all why? Why? We don't have a comparison point because we have amnesia. So it's not like, okay, so I know I'm God and I know what it's like when I'm not in that physical form, and it's really different, okay? This is why I like incarnating in physical forms, because it's so spectacular and adventuresome. So we go, but so we don't have that. So it is through self-discovery that we choose to go within and finally close the book on out there and go within to discover who and what we are. Then you begin to take gratitude, appreciation for being in that body and for that body to provide a place for you to be, to experience. Now, the Ascended Masters, they have ascended into physical form. They have mastered physical form. They have ascended out of physical form. They hold pure consciousness, God form. We have ascended into physical form. We are in the process of mastering physical form. We are creating our experiences to perfect our creation. Now, the off-worlders, the galactics, the celestials, over 1,000 species, civilizations travel through the solar system every day. Trillions throughout the universes every day. We are familiar with one small group, Pleiadians, Sirians, Arcturians, Andromedans, Felines, Zeta Reticuli, Anunnaki, Nords, Greys, Draco, Reptilian, excuse me, Golden Pyramid, Avian. This particular group has been assisting us in our evolution, physical, enlightenment, ascension, freeing ourselves from our own self-imposed bondage and our own self-imposed slavery. Now, we're always gathered, but these bodies give us the illusion of what? That we're separate. Good one, too, isn't it? But we're not separate. We're one. And we're focused. Just imagine out of all the googleplexes, hundreds of millions of them, of us on and off world, focus on this planet for its complete liberation. You can see the dark matter evaporating from the planet. You see it happening. Now we're in full compassion, non-judgment, non-ego, non-negativity, stillness of mind, gentleness, kindness, generosity, humbleness, bliss, joy, peace, tranquility, benevolence, prosperity, abundance. And we're all one. We're all God. We're all love. And our God force, love, light, energy is in all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever. And it continues to intensify and it continues to grow and expand. We immediately form a white fire circle of light around the equator of this planet Earth, Gaia, Arya, and this now. Where does this white fire light come from? It comes from all of us, the gods within these bodies, the love that we are, the highest of the highest high vibrational frequency. And it's flooding, saturating, permeating this planet, head to toe, inside and out, above and below. All life, the highest supreme value in the universes. And we begin to ascend. And as we do, we're met with this massive ocean of glitter. Now, it isn't like an ocean of glitter that we would depict on this planet. It's far more than that. But we give it a shot to describe it. And we have this grand finale fireworks display that none have come close to on this planet. And then we have this laser light show grand finale display. And then we have a, like, ballroom globe, right? That reflects all light, floods the room with light. Except this one's about a trillion times bigger and a trillion times more intense. So if we combine all these into one massive crescendo, that's about as close as we'll get to describing the ocean of glitter. Now we're curious, so we look at the reflective points, which are everywhere. And we notice these little tiny microscopic, perfectly etched mirrors, and so we enter them, and we discover that all of us everywhere, and all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever, are teaching and learning from one another. How do we do that? We enter different physical forms to show and teach each other different aspects and perspectives, different knowings. Isn't that amazing? So the one, which seems like the many, is helping each other. And, we were told that the tree is life. That's not really true. The God's life. The God enters the physical form of the tree to experience the physical form of the tree. So when the God enters it, it powers up that tree and it gives that tree life. And when the body can no longer sustain the God, the tree is no more. It's the same with anything. It's like you could look at a rock and ask yourself, well, what would it be like to be that rock? And for a moment, in silence, within your heart mind, you'll know what it's like to be that rock. Same with a tree, a bush, a shrub, a dog, a cat, a cow, a bear, anything, a bird. We have that ability. And look at how many of us are so distracted to the material physical world outside of us that we have not discovered it yet, amongst many things. Now we're immediately met with the emerald green flaming healing light of Archangel Raphael. This is a column of light that we created to remind us all, the gods that we are within these bodies, that we are the power of healing. We are then met with the violet, blue, purple flaming light of Archangel Michael. This is a column of light that we created to remind us all, the gods that we are within these bodies, of our omnipotent power, strength, and resolve. We are then met with the white fire. This is a column of light that we created to remind us all that from head to toe, inside and out, 24/7, infinity and beyond, we are protected. Where does this white fire armor come from? It comes from the gods that we are, the love that we're made of, the highest vibrational frequency. So no lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies can come in. No demon possessions, no attachments. Ever, ever, ever. But only you have the power. That if you decide to lower your vibrational frequency low enough, whether consciously or unconsciously, through what? Hatred, greed, anger, fear, worry, stress, envy, hurry, you will lower your vibrational frequency low enough to create a breach in your white fire armor. Enough so to allow lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies to come flooding in. Then there's all kinds of possibilities of demon possession, attachments, and so on. Now, if you do decide to do this, you're immediately met with a double column of light. We created the first part of this column of light as the purple transmuting flame. We created it so it reminds us that we can bring in the purple transmuting flame We can transmute all these lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies into neutral light substance, sending them to pure consciousness where they are no more. We are then met with the second half of this column of light, the violet ray. We created this part of the violet ray, this part of the column, to remind us that we can bring in the violet ray. We can, right behind the purple transmuting flame, we can cleanse and purify the area where these lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies were, sealing the breach in our white fire armor and restoring our vibrational harmony to the highest of the highest high, deepest of the deepest deepest, purest of the purest purest, eternal love, gratitude, and peace. We are then met with golden white pink light. This is a column of light that we created to remind all of us, the gods that we are within these bodies, that we are the sun. We are the sunlight. We are the rain and the rainbows. We are the sunsets and the sunrises. We are the oceans, rivers, lakes, and the streams. We are the trees and the forests. We are the soils, the animals, the mountains, the sky, the clouds. We're everything. Everything is us. So the next time that you view any of this, you view an ocean front, a mountain view, a starlit night sky, a rainbow, a sunset, a sunrise. We've been taught that isn't that beautiful, and it is. But we've been taught that it's separate from us, and it isn't. That's the illusion. So you look at it and you say, that is the God that I am. Whole different feeling and understanding through the heart-mind. Whole different. Big difference. And this isn't the ego mind. This is the heart-mind, remember. This isn't arrogance. This isn't any of that. This is the heart-mind. Love, peace, gentleness, kindness, generosity, and humbleness. That is the God that I am. Now, some of us continue to ascend. We all are ascending, but some of us decide to step outside our physical form, body, and hover effortlessly above it, if we're carrying physical form. And the reason we do this is because it's so fun, and we can. And we come in contact with this massive crystalline light tower. We created this tower, and it's larger than the solar system and beyond. We notice that right smack dab in the center is this huge oblong sphere. In the center of the sphere is a golden white bowl of light. It, in turn, is surrounded by numerous multicolored rings of light that seem to go to infinity and beyond. This creates a super bright, misty white cloud. It's sparkling and flashing. It is indescribable. And this is absorbed through our heart minds, and it feels like a warm embrace that never ends. Now we discovered that the golden white bowl of light is the highest of the highest high, deepest of the deepest deepest, purest of the purest purest, eternal love. Then comes well-being, gratitude, gentleness, kindness, generosity, and humbleness, bliss, joy, peace, tranquility, benevolence, massive prosperity, and massive abundance. And we discover that all of this is a reflection of the gods that we are in these bodies. Now, at the top of the tower, we designed it so the golden ocean can come cascading down 360 degrees, 24/7, infinity and beyond, as it's doing right now. What is the golden ocean? Deep, eternal love, flooding, saturating, and permeating this planet, on it, in it, above it, and below it, all life, the highest supreme value in the universes. Now, we are drops of this golden ocean. We also hold the essence of this golden ocean. Golden ocean is the drops of the golden ocean. And the only illusion is separation. we come upon our meditative sphere. It's that center circle. We created this sphere over 4 years ago. It holds well over 1,800 of our meditations in perpetual motion. It constantly is growing, expanding, intensifying, and it saturates this planet every atomic second, every moment, on it, in it, above it, and below it. This intent of pure, deep, eternal love, gratitude, peace, humbleness, gentleness, kindness, prosperity, and abundance. It's all there. And you can tap into this. That's why this sphere can be seen, heard, and felt, and all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever. Do you know why there is so much suffering in the world? Because most everyone is over-identified with their thoughts and wrapped up in the ego, which is an illusionary, limited identity. The ego trip gets in the way of knowing yourself to be a divine, flowing source of love, sweetness, and joy. Drop whatever knowledge you have that is causing you to cling to your ego. Stop reacting. Start to consciously allow life's natural, intelligent, and conscious, loving energy to flow through you, because you're divine essence. I'll join in the meditation, return to close us out. Take an easy breath in through the nose, and an easy breath out through the mouth. Be still. No matter how small or stuck you feel, you can always find a way to transcend it. For today, I invite you to dream big. Let yourself explore a new dimension of your greatest power, your imagination. Start with creating a movie image of what you want your life to look like, feel like, sound like, and taste like. And hold that vision all day long. Anytime your mind wanders, return to it. Stick to it like superglue for this one day, as much as you can. You'll be pleasantly surprised how much you stretch yourself and your mind with this one exercise. Enjoy. We'll be back here Wednesday, March 30th, 2022, 3 p.m. Eastern to continue our Global Guided Meditation call, and 9 p.m. Eastern to continue our Time for Change call.